Isaiah 18. Beware, land of buzzing wings, the one beyond the river of Kush, that sends messengers by the sea, who glide over the water surface, boats made of papyrus. Go, you swift messengers, to a nation of tall, smooth-skinned people, to a people that are feared far and wide, to a nation strong and victorious, whose land rivers divide. All you who live in the world, who reside on the earth, you will see a signal flag raised on the mountains. You will hear a trumpet being blown, for this is what the Lord has told me. I will wait and watch from my place, like scorching heat produced by the sun, like a cloud of mist in the heat of harvest. For before the harvest, when the buds has sprouted and the ripened fruit appears, he will cut the unproductive shoots with pruning knives. He will prune the tendrils. They will all be left for the birds of the hills and the wild animals. The birds will eat them during the summer, and all the wild animals will eat them during the winter. At that time, tribute will be brought to the Lord of heaven's armies by the people who are tall and smooth-skinned, a people that are feared far and wide, a nation strong and victorious, whose land rivers divide. The tribute will be brought to the place where the Lord of heaven's armies has chosen to reside, on Mount Zion. All right. So again, in Isaiah, we are having pronouncements going again. What do we have in the last in 17? Let's go back just a little bit. The people that make an uproar as loud as the roaring of the waves, when they shout, they will flee to a distant land. Okay, so we had in the last one that everyone was fleeing, and now we have moved on to beware the buzzing of the land of the wings. And let's see what they have on the footnote on wings. I'm going to guess it's going to be something along the line of insects. Yeah, buzzing wings is uncertain, but suggested that points to Kush, a land with many insects, although possibly it is referring to the swiftness with which the land's messengers travel. They move over the sea swiftly, and as insects fly through the air. Okay. Oops, don't do that. Okay. You just found out that the Pope can't get removed from his position or be dismissed something. If he can't get removed, what happens when the Pope goes corrupt or change or alter the scriptures? Well, the Pope hasn't, and I don't know that he can alter scriptures. He can make pronouncements, but that's not the same as scripture. But they believe God will take care of it. They believe he's God's anointed. So other than that, I don't have answers. I'm not Catholic, and I don't study that, and I frankly don't care. So sorry if it's something that you think is important for you to know. Don't worry about the Pope. But it's along the lines of God has chosen him, and so he's not going to, and God will take care of it. That's kind of like if we go to David with Saul, it's God's anointed one. We don't take action against him. God will deal with him. When Saul goes wrong, that's the same, I would say, approach that you take if the person in power goes wrong, is you wait for God to take care of it. So, all right. So we've got a continuation of chapter 17. We broke, and then we come back in 18. Beware land of buzzing wings, the one beyond the rivers of Kush. So we're going to a distant land, and the reputation comes, and they send messengers by the sea who glide over the surface. Go, you swift messengers, to the nations tall and smooth, those who are feared. So we have this at the beginning. It could be some chiasm here because we return to some of these phrases again at the end. There are tall and feared far and wide. Yeah, you do not want some of these nations coming against you, and the reputation would go before you. So, hey, the nations of the earth, far and wide, and all who live in the world, who reside in the earth, you will see a signal flag raised on the mountain. You will hear a trumpet blow. Okay, so this sounds like war is coming, or victory. This is what the Lord has told me. I will wait and I will watch from my place, like a scorching heat produced in the sun, like a cloud in the mist in the heat of the harvest. For before the harvest, when bud has sprouted and ripened fruit appears, I will cut off the unproductive shoots with pruning. So he is going to go throughout the land, and he is going to take and prune everything that is not producing fruit. And he's going to just leave it there, he says, for the birds. So, like, if there's buds on it, the animals will still chew on it. If there is fruit that's going to go, but it's not a productive one, it's not going to fully, like, the animals will deal with it. Like, doesn't burn it up here, just prunes it off and leaves it for the animals. Which is an interesting thing, because often when we have pruning, we're going to burn those up. Here, we're not burning them up. At that time, tribute will be brought to the Lord of heaven's armies by the people tall and smooth. So the people of the land are not doing what they are supposed to, but foreigners are going to come and bring tribute to God. And they're going to bring tribute to the place where God has chosen on Mount Zion. They're going to come. All right, let me get caught up on chat. This is going to be so weird watching it here. You care because you think they help preserve the Bible or something from kings and monarchs, all that, through the church and people power. Well, right now, there would be no way to destroy the access to the Bible. Like, there are more copies of the Bible than anything ever printed. There is not a way to destroy the Bible in current world circumstances. There are physical copies. I mean, I got dozens of them. How are they going to round up all of the physical copies that I have, let alone other people have? When the church was the only ones who had a copy, the church could have changed things. Can't happen anymore, Shy. Charles, all we can do is make sure people trust their Bibles and not any specific man, because no church can alter what all the Bibles in the world. Yeah, you're saying the same thing, even if they say things against it. You've heard of popes stepping down from their position for some reason or another. I've not. I mean, it's a possibility, but I guess there was one not too long ago. For health reasons, he stepped down and didn't remain pope for life. We just had one that did that. I'm trying to remember who it was. Because of them, kings and monarchs sometimes don't really have full control over the religious text thingy. Well, I don't know why kings and monarchs would have control over religious texts. Even in ancient times, there are overwhelming manuscripts, I think, Greg. Well, there's manuscripts in multiple locations. Socialent! We doing okay? Yeah, we doing okay. Just on an alternate setup today so that we can raid over when the podcast starts in a couple hours. Okay, so there we go. I think I'm caught up on chat. Anything on that? I know, like, frankly, Isaiah, I'm not gonna drag it out with a whole bunch. It's a whole bunch of oracles against people that you done messed up, and you better get right, and you better change your ways, and there'll be a remnant.